welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm your host Barbara for this episode of Morning Coffee and Crochet and TGIF. Oh yes, TGIF to the max. Yeah, I'm an 80s child. I'm gonna say it to the max. Had to put my hair up, tried to do the morning coffee and crochet outside. Oh, no, not today. Not today. Besides, I wanted to show something to you that I personally love, and it's this little gadget. You may have one, you may have seen one, or maybe not. It is a yarn winder, and this week I showed you this yarn. In fact, I frogged it. I frogged that yarn, and so I'm gonna wind it. I'm going to wind it with you today, and we're going to just chat away about the weekend. So, you know, it's really easy. It has a little lever here. You just put the table in between that, and then there's a little screw, and you just tighten that down. I don't know what the technical names are for it, so anyway, I'm going to call it a screw. And if you know, you can put it in below, and educate us, but it really doesn't matter because it holds it to the table. So I'm going to hook it to the table, and I'm going to tighten it up. Make sure you go the right way. Tighten it up really good. And so this is a really neat gadget. Of course, you're going to have to hand crank it. And then this right here, you put your yarn through, and that helps hold the tension. There's little notches up here where you put the first part of your yarn through. So I am looking forward to the weekend. And you know, after our last, well, I think it was, what day was it that was it Monday or Wednesday? See, that's how my brain works. I can't even remember. But let's see. I've got my little scrap yarn here because once I get the cake done, I like to just take some black yarn and I tie it in a bow, and that way it won't unravel when I have it stacked in my shelving unit there. So we are going to do this together. Yeah, you know, I didn't really, when I frogged it, I had so much fun frogging. Oh my gosh. It was so liberating to me. I can't even tell you how happy I was after that episode and I frogged this. Oh, it was such a good feeling. And not because I tore out my work, but because I took this pressure off the table for me. I took it off my table. I took it off my to-do list. It's not on my to-do list anymore. It's on my one day when I have time. It's a lovely stitch. I would love to make it, but not right now. And so I gave myself permission to do that. I have just enough hair to have a little tiny ponytail. See that? I don't know if you can see it. But, oh my goodness, and I'm glad I have that little bit of hair because whoo, it is so hot. So hot. So I'm taking the end of the yarn and I'm just putting it in these little notches because this will help hold it as it starts to spin. So let's see if I can get this to come through. I may have to work through some knots. May have to. Normally it doesn't bother me to do knots, so let's see if it does this way. And the directions here, it has an arrow pointing to my right, and it says handle turn direction. So that's telling me go that way. Don't know what happens if you go the other way, but it says go that way, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna hold my yarn just gently in my hands. I'm not going to hold it tight, but I'm gonna hold enough pressure so that it makes a tighter cake. One time I did make a cake, and I just let this, you know, be the tension for it. And my cake was very squishy, which is nice. Nothing wrong with a squishy cake, except I didn't get as much yarn in my cake. And as you can see, this is not the largest yarn winder that there is out there, but it's perfect for me. And it was a gift from my sweet sister-in-law. I think she gave it to me last Christmas. I'm not sure, but I was sure surprised. And I really like it. I think the box is still up there, and I'm pretty sure she got it from Hobby Lobby. And because that box looks familiar from Hobby Lobby. And so don't know how much she paid for it, but I sure do love it. And so you can check it out. So we're gonna start, and oh, there we go. Well, let me see. I think I'm gonna make my, let me see, because this is going this way. So I think I'm gonna make, there we go. So I'm gonna make my tail go this way, only because I think it will make me feel better. There we go. Let's try it again. And as long as I can allow the yarn to go through one strand at a time, I am going to do so. Sometimes it'll knot up a little bit, and you know, they make all these neat little wooden things that you can like wrap your yarn before you do this. Hey, okay, we're not going to say anything to jinx us. Not that I believe in jinxing, but yeah. When I unwound it in strips. Like I wound it in big loops, really big loops. I didn't just make a mess with it. I tried not to anyway. And I think that's helping me right now. Every now and then I have a little tiny grab, but not too bad because it's coming loose. It's not holding it and knotting, it's just grabbing a little bit, which I can handle that. We just need to rustle it a little bit and get it going. I'm in my craft room, so I don't care if it goes down on the floor, and you can see how quiet it is. I'm not using my microphone today, so we're just using the microphone from my phone. Oh yeah, see? It's not doing too bad. Doing pretty good. And I don't know if you can see on the table, but I have the skein of yarn on the table, and I am just allowing that yarn to pull from the middle of the skein. Let's stop. See? Can you see that? Let me turn it just a little bit. See that cute little cake that's starting? So, and once I cake it up, it's really easy to use the yarn from the center of the cake. It's only until the very end that it might give you some problems, but most of the time it's not a problem at all. Now that just came out a little knot out of the middle of the skein, but no big deal. Got that out. So I'm so glad it's Friday, and I'm getting ready to work on, oh, look at that. That's a knot. That's a knot. Okay, a knot from the factory. Can you see that? Yeah, we're gonna let that go into the, normally I would undo that, but I'm not going to this time and take the time. But normally what I would do is cut on either side of that ugly knot, and I would do a magic knot. Love me some magic knots. So here we go to the end. Ta-da! So when I get to the end, what I will do is just take the end of it, and I will pick up a couple strands, and I will just tuck a little bit of that in that strand, in those couple strands, just to make a little U. You know, I tuck it in. I leave this out, but it's hard to do this without looking. But I take my finger and I just tuck that under just enough so that it's like a little U under there. And then I take this off, and I have been just like pushing it down a little bit to make it a little more compact that way. So when I pull it off, I'm going to have a little bit of black yarn ready. I'm going to cut a little bit of that and just gently pull this off. Hello. I don't know if you can see my eye, probably not. So my little bit of yarn is coming out from the center, and I will do something with that. Now I'm going to put the black yarn up through the center, and I'm going to give it a little make this one quite big, as big as I did the last one I did. And I'm going to give it a little tug and do a little bow, because I don't want to knot. I want to be able to take it off, but I want it tight enough so that it doesn't come undone. Now a little bit came out, but how cute is that? How cute is that cake? And here, there's my end piece from the one, and then here's the other end piece. And so what I just, I just leave that right at the top. If I feel like I need to, then I'll put, a little piece of tape or something on the end, just so that it makes it easy to find. But since I have tied a little bow like that with the black yarn and gone through the center, then it will help hold it, because this one, obviously this is very soft yarn and it's wanting to just right down in. I did one with a Caron Simply Soft, and now that yarn is like soft and slippery, but it's a little tougher than this yarn. This yarn is a little floppier, if you ask me. That's a technical term. Keep that in mind. Anyway, so it stayed in the cake, and maybe I did it a little bit tighter. Plus, I really think that the Caron Simply Soft, even though it says it's a 4, it's a low 4. It's kind of closer to a 3 than it is a 4. So that does make a difference. Oh, hold on just a second. I'll grab this too. So this one right here, and I did use a little more yarn to cut that, but see, I don't know, no, you can't see. See how the hole is a little bit bigger in the center? But this one is a whole skein of Caron Simply Soft, and this one is a partial skein of Premier Puzzle yarn. And see those pretty pinks and grays? Anyway, it's what I had left of a skein, so I caked that up, and then this is a full cake, and then this is what is left of the Hobby Lobby, and it's the denim wash in the teal. So anyway, I've got my cakes going, and I'm really liking them. It's such a neat way to put your yarn back on the shelf once you've used it. One thing that just really drives me insanely crazy is, when I start using some yarn and then I almost get through to the end, I can roll it in these balls. And I have, obviously, you can see this ball. I don't enjoy this. This doesn't bring me joy. Putting yarn in balls, because then inevitably you put it on the shelf, and then when you pull out another skein of yarn, then this falls and then it unravels and blah blah blah, and it's just, what a pain. So I have all of these skeins of yarn on my shelf right now, all kinds. I told you that it was just really weird looking, and it's just, it's a mess. And I have all these dangling guts hanging down. I mean, seriously, in the yarn world, this would be like a zombie apocalypse looking thing, because guts are hanging everywhere. So I need to do something with that. And so I am going to use this trusty little yarn winder, and I am going to cake up some yarn, and of the ones that I've used. I'm starting to purge some of my yarn. First time I've done that, because I've just been ordering more and more and more. But I'm finding that as I order the yarn, as I use the yarn, I find yarn that I absolutely adore, and then I find yarn that I really don't care for. It's okay yarn, but if I have had that yarn for a year or a year and a half or 2 years, or I am looking right now. Oh yeah, I see it. Yarn that I've had since 1995. Yeah, not telling a story. 1995, and I haven't used that yarn. It's been in a container. It's perfectly good yarn, It's not dirty, it's not smoky, it's not dusty. It's been, you know, it's been in a case well, I don't know what to say. It's like one of those square 12 by 12 basket things that go into a shelf, like the shelving units, and it's been in there forever. But I haven't used it. I don't think I'm going to use it. So I think maybe, you know, it's time to donate some yarn somewhere, or maybe I just need to cake that into a scraptastic yarn ball, a yarn cake, and just, you know, with some of the others, and just go for it and just make a scraptastic blanket of some sort, you know, and just use it up that way. There's no reason why I can't double it with something else and make a floor rug. There's no reason. It's not costing me anything. A little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but, you know, I could do that. No reason I couldn't do that. So anyway, it feels good. This right here, a little messy. I've got some strings hanging down, some little loopies. I did that really quick, and I didn't want to waste your time, didn't take my time with it. Did it really, really fast, but I mean, as you can see, I do know how to cake yarn. I just did it really fast this time, and I'll probably fix this, or I'll just tuck them in, turn it to the good side. So, you know, this made me happy. First to frog that work that gave me stress, and then to cake it up. So I'm feeling really good. Feeling really good going into the weekend, and I hope that you have had a productive week. I hope that you have had a fun week. I hope that you've paid it forward somehow. Remember, we were going to do that. We were going to do something fun for someone or something nice for someone and not say anything. So don't say anything. Just let it be, you know? So, yeah, I said something on somebody's desk this week and just walked away. They weren't at their desk. So when they came back, I don't know what their reaction was. I hope that it was surprise and pleasant surprise. And I hope they just enjoyed that someone thought about them. So anyway, you know, it's just, we give what we can, right? We give what we can. And if we know how to make something, you know, small and joyful and fun, let's do it. Let's not be stingy with our creativity and with our work, and let's not be stingy with our love and care for one another. Boy, the world really needs that right now, doesn't it? So anyway, I hope that you have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday, and I'm so excited to have this schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is the first week I've done this. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are the morning coffee and crochets. And so then by doing that and by limiting those, it frees me up to do a little more tutorials and fun stuff like that. So anyway, stay safe, be kind, and get hooking. Bye.